Alicia stared at the final notice taped to her apartment door, its edges flapping in the dry August wind like a cruel taunt. Behind her, 5-year-old Mia tugged at her sleeve, her voice small but bright. "Mommy, can we get ice cream today?" Alicia's throat tightened. She couldn't tell her daughter they might not have a home next week, let alone spare change for a cone. She forced a smile, ruffling Mia's curls. "Maybe tomorrow, baby." Inside, her heart sank under the weight of unpaid bills and a second job that barely kept them afloat. The heat was suffocating, the kind that made asphalt shimmer and tempers flare. Alicia, lugging a bag of hand-me-down clothes, led Mia and 7-year-old Noah to the only place she could think of, a used bookstore 2 blocks away with free air conditioning. The bell above the door jingled as they stepped into the dim, musty haven. Rows of worn paperbacks lined the shelves, their spines cracked but loved. Alicia sank into a corner chair, her kids darting to the children's section, giggling over a tattered copy of The Velveteen Rabbit. For a moment, she closed her eyes, letting the quiet wrap around her like a blanket. A woman nearby browsed the fiction aisle, her face half hidden by a baseball cap. She pulled a book from the shelf, a dog-eared copy of Their Eyes Were Watching God, and caught Alicia's eye. "Good one," the woman said, her voice warm, like she'd known Alicia forever. Alicia nodded, too tired to chat, but the woman didn't push. Instead, she knelt by Mia, who was clutching a picture book. "You like stories?" she asked. Mia beamed, launching into a rambling tale about a dragon who loved pancakes. The woman laughed, her eyes crinkling with genuine delight. Alicia watched, wary but softening. The woman asked about the kids, about Alicia's favorite books. "I used to read to escape," Alicia admitted, surprising herself. "Now I just survive." The woman's gaze held hers, steady and kind, no pity, just understanding. They talked for an hour, about dreams deferred, about the weight of raising kids alone, about the stories that keep you going. Alicia didn't recognize her, didn't know the face under the cap was Zendaya, the actress whose posters hung in every mall. To her, she was just a stranger who listened. As they left, the woman pressed the book into Alicia's hands. "Keep this. It's got some hope in it." Alicia thanked her, tucking it under her arm. That night, she tucked Mia and Noah into bed, their small apartment heavy with the threat of eviction. She didn't sleep. The next morning, a letter arrived from the bank, crisp and official. She tore it open, expecting another demand. Instead, it read, "Your mortgage has been paid in full." Her hands shook. She read it again, certain it was a mistake. Zendaya sat in her hotel room, the conversation with Alicia replaying in her mind. The woman's quiet strength, the way her voice cracked when she mentioned her kids, it hit hard. Zendaya stared at the city skyline, her reflection faint in the glass. She'd been where Alicia was, not exactly, but close enough. Flashbacks tugged at her. Her mom working late shifts, the worry lines etched deeper each month, the nights they ate cereal for dinner because it was all they had. Fame hadn't erased those memories, it just made them sharper. She could walk away. She'd done enough, hadn't she? Listened, smiled, given a book. But Alicia's words, "I just survived," clung to her like damp clothes. Zendaya paced, her phone buzzing with notifications she ignored. She didn't want headlines or thank yous. She wanted to do something real. By midnight, she'd made up her mind. She called her lawyer, a no-nonsense woman named Claire who'd handled discreet matters before. "Find out about a woman named Alicia Carter," Zendaya said. "Single mom, 2 kids, lives in that apartment complex on 14th. She's got a mortgage she can't pay. I want it cleared. No names, no trace." Claire didn't ask questions. By morning, she'd tracked down the bank details. The mortgage was a crushing $87,000, a number that would have buried Alicia for years. Zendaya didn't blink. "Pay it off," she said. "Use the foundation's funds. Route it through a trust. Make it look like a clerical error or a grant. She can't know it's me." Claire nodded, already drafting the paperwork. Zendaya hung up, her chest tight. She thought of her mom again, how a single break could have changed everything. She didn't need Alicia to know her name. She just needed her to have a chance. The next day, Zendaya walked past the bookstore, half hoping to see Alicia, half dreading it. She didn't stop. She had a flight to catch, a premiere to smile through. But as she boarded the plane, she felt lighter, like she'd left something good behind in that dusty shop. Alicia sat at her kitchen table, The bank's letter spread out like a map to a new world. Paid in full. No explanation, no catch. She called the bank, her voice sharp with suspicion. "There's got to be a mistake," she said. The clerk sounded bored, repeating, "It's a grant, ma'am. Happens sometimes." Alicia hung up, her pulse racing. A grant? For her? She'd never applied for anything. She checked the letter again, searching for a catch, but it was real. Her debt was gone. Days later, a plain envelope arrived, no return address. Inside was a single sheet of paper, handwritten in neat, looping script. "You reminded me of someone I love. That's all you need to know." No signature, no name. Alicia read it again, her eyes stinging. She sank to the floor, the note trembling in her hands. Mia climbed into her lap, asking why she was crying. "Happy tears, baby," Alicia whispered, pulling her close. Noah joined them, his small arms around her neck. For the first time in years, she felt like she could breathe. She didn't tell anyone, not her coworkers, not her sister. The note felt sacred, like a secret meant to be held close. She kept it in her nightstand, rereading it when doubt crept in. Who could have done this? She thought of the woman in the bookstore, the one who'd listened so intently. But that was impossible. She was just a stranger. Wasn't she? Alicia's mind spun, piecing together the timing, the woman's quiet kindness. She pushed the thought away. It was too wild, too much like a movie. She started sleeping better. She laughed more, read to her kids at night. The fear that had clung to her like damp rot was gone. She didn't know who to thank, so she thanked the universe, whispering prayers into the dark. The community center buzzed with chatter, folding tables lined with donated clothes and toys. Alicia volunteered at the charity event, her first time giving back since the letter. She sorted books, her kids playing nearby, their laughter brighter than the fluorescent lights. She felt different, stronger, like she was part of something bigger. Then she saw her. Across the room, Zendaya, no cap this time, her face unmistakable as she handed out water bottles to volunteers. Alicia froze, her heart lurching. It was her, the woman from the bookstore. Their eyes met. Zendaya's widened for a split second, then softened. Alicia's breath caught, tears pricking her eyes. She knew. No words, no proof, just a certainty deep in her bones. Zendaya's lips curved into a small, knowing smile, her head dipping in a nod. Alicia nodded back, her vision blurring. The moment lasted seconds, but it felt like forever. Then Zendaya turned, slipping into the crowd before anyone else noticed. Alicia didn't follow. She didn't need to. The note's words echoed in her mind. "You reminded me of someone I love." She wiped her eyes, turning back to the books, her hands steady. She'd never tell a soul, but she'd carry that moment forever. Weeks later, she started a support group for single moms, sharing what she could: time, hope, a listening ear. She didn't have money to give, but she had something better, a spark rekindled, a belief in second chances. Sometimes, the loudest love is the one that stays silent.